Hi guys, my name is Andrea Cruz here, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit about today, stress in the body and how it could show up. For me personally, I've noticed that stress has been showing up in my body in weight gain. I've been doing a lot of research as to why this might be occurring, other than eating more food and finding ways to deal with stress. I notice personally, not only am I slightly an emotional eater, I do consume more food when I'm feeling stressed, but I also have been making an effort to be more conscious about that. So I would say that it's not just the food that I'm eating or not eating. I have done keto, I've even done a little bit of semaglutide, and what I find is the weight just creeps right back on. So I want to talk a little bit about lifestyle. I'm not a medical professional, nutritional professional in any way, but I am a therapist, so we do delve into the psychological, emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual realms of the body. Right now I'm filming to you from the lovely shores of Kauai, and yeah, I came out here to de-stress. So let's talk a little bit about how high stress cortisol levels can exist in the body. I mentioned one earlier today. It's weight gain. I've noticed that and taking more leadership roles in my field. For example, I'm a clinical director at a substance abuse co-occurring treatment center. I will not name what that is, although it's a wonderful place, and I would highly recommend it for anybody who is in need for dealing with addictions of various kinds. If you want more information about that, you can message me privately, but I'm here to talk to you about the symptoms of high cortisol levels in the body. So we like weight gain, breakouts or acne is one of them. So like just having little bumps that show up either on the lower part of the face or the higher parts of the face. If it's lower, it's generally hormonal. If it's higher, it's generally stress related, but it all correlates, right? Because you'll find that stress and hormones have a relationship with each other. Damn it. Okay, we'll talk about that. Thinning skin, right? Having a few more wrinkles, girls. I know we don't want to have that, but it happens, right? Bruising, flushed face or bloating, having a little more rosacea, or waking up with a little bit more water around the eyes, puffiness, or the face. That sucks. Slowed healing, right? Have you ever gotten a cold and it took forever for you to get better? Or I had an injury on my wrist and it took like damn near a couple weeks, and I was like, why? Why? Stress. Okay, I don't want to say anything else. It's not aging. It's stress. Okay. So weak muscles, severe fatigue. For those of you who don't drink coffee and you're still having fatigue, right? Because you notice when you're drinking coffee in the morning, you have an adrenaline spike, right? And then a crash. And generally that caffeine or the coffee crash, that is your adrenaline like humming down. So that it's not related to caffeine. This has to be related to just your overall feelings of awakeness. So I'm not a coffee drinker, but I do notice sometimes, not every time, not every day, that I have some fatigue, irritability. If you're getting in more little quarrels with your partner or your kids or whoever's in your life, that might be due to high stress or cortisol. Difficulty concentrating, a little bit of brain fog, forgetting. I hate it when you're like mid-sentence and you're like on a good roll, having a great conversation, all of a sudden it bloop, brain fart goes away. High blood pressure, okay, and what are some of the causes, right? So I mentioned a little bit of that. It could be due to stress, right? So let me talk to you a little bit about how that exists in the body. So stress triggers our adrenal glands. Our adrenal glands are in charge of our stress levels, our hormonal stress levels, right? And it can trigger, as it's related to the amygdala, a fight, flight, freeze, or fawn response. So they're the 4 F's. People normally know fight or flight, right? But it's actually the 4 F's: fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Okay, I can explain that to you guys later in another video, but just to make it short and sweet, when that happens, we are having a hyperactive amygdala, and our adrenal glands are going, right? And if they're in a constant state, if you're in a constant state of stress, you will find that that it doesn't get turned off, right? So the cortisol levels and those stress hormones don't get turned off. So we'll see even more weight gain, right? So for those mommies and daddies who are fighting all the time, for you know, people who are in high-paying corporate jobs where they have to act under pressure, under certain circumstances, that is a continuous fight or flight or adrenal gland. And so a lot of times you'll see that people will gain weight. They will have more stress. They will have more irritability. They'll have more fatigue. They'll have less energy for doing the things that they love and the self-care that they love. So yeah, so I've noticed that in my life, I have certainly had less desire to do the things that I enjoy. Like, I love bike riding. Have I made the time to bike ride every single day? No, I know it's good for me. And I've just now, especially since I've been out in Kauai, been getting back to a good meditation routine. But it's so important, right? It's so important that we keep up with our self-care, because especially when we're women, girls, like when we are dealing with this amount of cortisol in our body, we must practice a good self-care routine in order for us to, yes, let me say it, remain youthful, keeping those extra pounds off us, stopping those adrenal glands from pumping, increasing our ability to strengthen our muscles. And it's a good self-care routine can do worlds of wonder for reverse aging. So things to consider. And thank you for listening today. And I hope you all have a wonderful, blessed day. If you have any questions regarding anything that I have talked about, I'll be entering into a greater discussion of self-care as we go along, and I'll probably be introducing to you some of the products that I might be using or working with, and I can't wait to open that discussion with you guys. I hope you have a very blessed day, and stay healthy, stay stress-free, and do some self-care. Thank you.